Salam, Jumbo, Bonjour, 안녕하세요. What else? Hola. Yes, welcome back to Rue's Random Paradox. Honestly, I don't even want to put a title on what this venture is going to be. I know I say there's going to be a short series of audiobook, but who knows? It's random. You just have to be ready for it all, for anything, So today I wanted to talk about a few random things, few reflections, right? So I've been observing and reflecting a lot in the past 2 weeks. And I wanted to share what I learned, what I took from everything, because to me, wisdom comes first, because it helps me understand the blueprint of life. I can have as much knowledge as I can, but the wisdom is my key. It's the key to perceiving that reality into fruition. So the first thing I learned is to always be authentically and uniquely you in all your elements, right? In all your elements, in all who you are, you have to stay authentically you, because that's how you are made. That's how Source created you, right? And anything outside of yourself, right? Anything that doesn't resonate with your energy and frequency, you can either allow it to come in your life and help you, assist you in ways, but if it's not helpful, you're not obligated to just absorb everything, right? We're not sponges. We don't have to we can be sponges because we can absorb the knowledge, okay, like weight it, and then you squeeze it, let the water out, and you're back to being light. So, just always be authentically and uniquely be you in all your elements. Anything that sways you from what feels like your foundation, your root, don't go, The second thing is I've understood I've come to the awareness that, a universe is multidimensional, and perspectives could be perceived in so many angles and awareness. So, like a Unicode, one key to open Pandora's box, right? So you only need one key to open your Pandora's box, and that key is authentically made for you. And so if you've had your key and you're trying to open different boxes, it's not going to work, because that's not the key that was made. So in order for anyone, meaning in order for you to unlock your blueprint, your true perception, right? You have to be authentically you. And third thing I learned is that I still don't want to work for anyone. I just really desire to teach, travel, and curate like beautiful experiences for me and all the beautiful beings that I meet, that I interact with, that I exchange my energy with. I don't want to feel restricted in one place, in one box, because that's just me and my brain restricting myself into this space. And so being a creative or having that creative energy, being a creative and having that creative energy are still the same thing. It's just we've used language to decode and code so many different things that we've confused ourselves, right? And that's, I can't blame it all on us, but when I say us, it's me and whoever made me, Source, all of it, right? And so accountability is really key. That's what I learned. Accountability is key, whether it's you caused it or your ancestors did, the programming did. Accountability is key too. You have to take accountability and be proactive about what you want to do about the problems that you're experiencing or seeing. For me, my way of solving problem is being creative, is using logic from a place of heart, pure intention, and create something that can better and elevate my reality, because the reality I want to feel inside my heart is harmony and peace, and just like a space for me to perceive externally like a beauty, and like seeing people happy. I don't like it because I don't like being sad. Like, it's, I feel the pain. I feel like it's sad. That's one thing about me being like a sponge. I am able to absorb people's emotions, and me absorbing people's emotions help me observe, I guess, not absorb, observe. That's one key thing that I needed to learn. Even as I'm speaking right now, I'm learning, is when we're empaths, right? When we're empath, we should observe, not absorb. See, naturally, we are attractive beings. We attract energy because we are energy, right? And so instead of, we do understand people. We can be in their shoes because we can feel the energy that's being like received, because we are reflective. And so we have to be able to just observe it and not absorb it, right? Because that way it doesn't have to weight you down, and you don't have to squeeze yourself to dry out and feel light again, when you could just see from the outside and take observations. But yeah, so that's one thing. The other thing I learned, and the other one is to be transparent and honest with you, right? I find it difficult to desire money, because my association of money right now, with just the word money, right? Words are very important. With the word money is, I see it as paper, and it's just like I haven't found the desire to accumulate money. When it comes to currency, yes, I want to create tides and motions that will bring me, currency from the energy that I exchange and give. I don't want, I guess it's because I value my energy more than I value the 3D paper. And so, being creative, I'm more concerned about seeding and spreading the light that's within me, because I see it reflecting everywhere, and it's like, it makes me happy, and it makes anybody I come across happy. So it's allowing me to be me. So why not follow the path that feels like me, And the sixth point that I learned is that I am a very imperfect vessel, and it's okay. See, pure, perfect, all these words are just like definitions or a way of expressing what energy is, right? And so energy can't be described. Like, we can create languages and math and measurements and all of that only to understand the wisdom and the knowledge of this blueprint. And so I am a very imperfect vessel. I've ate pork before. I eat cheese still. My parents grew up eating that in the orphanage that they grew up in. And just because something is written in somewhere, it doesn't mean that that's how it is. For me, I've always been somebody that wanted to question, hey, why do you do this? So I can understand the intention behind it and see if it resonates with my core intention and value and authenticity, right? And so, yeah, accepting that we are a very imperfect vessel, but very beautiful energy in an imperfect vessel. right? A beautiful, powerful energy in an imperfect vessel that activates the whole vessel and makes it shine and glow in ways that it creates more beauty. Like in Japan, right? With broken what do you call them? Thingings? Not clay, vases and stuff. They have this way of filling it with gold, filling it with gold, bringing the broken and making beauty out of it. That's how I see myself. That's the nature around me. Nature is not perfect. When you look at the trees and you look at your hands, right? It's like they have the same shapes and patterns. See, I'm not saying they have the same image. I'm saying they have similar patterns and randomness. They have similar randomness in them. That's what makes us who we are. It's the randomness. It's the imperfection. It's just the flow that makes us beautiful and who we are. It doesn't mean one is uglier than the other. It doesn't mean one is prettier than the other. No, it's all beautiful because the eyes that saw this and created this saw beauty in everything. Saw perfection in it, because perfection is just another myth that we continuously chase in our la la land. And seventh thing I observed and reflected is we live in times where the perception that people have in this world is completely unique and different, right? It's like our perception is unique and different to each is its own. That's really a thing. And most of the times when we live in society, when we live with other people, with other beings, in a community, it's easy to see our similarities than to see our difference and accept it as unity, And yeah, what I really desire to accomplish or work or have as a job to do, to architect or to just proactively create, is I want to invest my time. Because I am the currency, right? I am the currency. I want to invest my time and energy on working with young gods and goddesses. I want to help younger kids, youth, people that feel closer to my inner child. I want to help them unleash their creativity. I want to help them heal the traumas that they've perceived as trauma and went through. Trauma for a kid could be like somebody telling them, no, I'm not going to buy you candy. That could be a big trauma, because how we perceive life as a child does so much to our subconscious mind, so much to the conscious mind. And so, or not mind, but yeah, to the mind too. But consciousness is not found only in the mind. Consciousness doesn't have a source that can be said, hey, this is where it is. Consciousness is all of it. It's the web of life. It's not www. World Wide Web. No, that's not it. That's not consciousness. But it does help us reflect our consciousness and see what other people perceived and reflected and said, it's being on earth or being a part of earth is being the farmers in our own lives too. We have to learn how to nurture ourselves. We have to learn how to seed ourselves. We have to learn how to grow, how to evolve, when I say evolve, we're not necessarily evolving on a physical level, but microscopically on a cellular level, we are evolving. Right? We are evolving. We are fighting what we perceive our biggest fears in a microscopic levels. Okay? And this is why I'm saying everything happens for a reason. Everything is in divine alignment. But the source that created all of us to be connected in this consciousness designed it beautifully, not designed, orchestrated, because see how the universe flows is in music, it's in beauty, it's in art, and art is just flow like water, and just like it's foundation like earth, like I don't know, it's so beautiful. This is why I can't be calling people every day and ask them if they're selling their property, because it's like there's so many younger kids that can't be where I am right now, that can't be where a lot of us are right now. And so if we're not working with what we can prevent, see, instead of being a doctor, I went to public health. And that wasn't even my choice, but that was something that I wanted to make my parents happy still and say, okay, I at least accomplished this. But it's still like school still helps me. Like, it still helps me with, I'm learning about the structure of education. I'm learning about the interaction of students, kids. Everything in this life is a lesson so that we can take over and create our own realities. But when we take over our own realities, it's not creating a reality with la la land, all the happy things. I mean, if that's what we want, then like, what's the point of happiness being within you, residing within you? That's the thing. I already have happiness. I already have joy. I already have abundance. I already have wealth. I am already attractive. I attract everything that I desire, right? And everything that's for me. But knowing that fact, am I going to just attract everything that I want? No. Is everything good for me? No. Is something that's good for me good for somebody else? No. Is something bad for me good for somebody else? Yes. To each is its own. But we can't unite over our brokenness. I mean, we can. There's no can't. Okay, there's no can't. Even like impossible, the word impossible says I am possible. I know that's so cliche, but like, this language is like Babylon. Like, with the story, it's Babylon fell down or destroyed, or Atlantis sunk down and all of that, because we're still not revealing universal love every day. There is a time broker. There are universal laws here when we choose to exist in this realm, in this plane of existence, right? And so with the time broker, like, we have to be careful about what we invest our time and energy on, right? What are we doing with it? If money was to buy you happiness, money is not picked off a tree. My parents, my grandma, my ancestors always say that you just don't pick money off a tree. No. But we printed it so that like we can use it, but that's not all it. Still, like all civilization, every time the circle comes back to the same shit. Are we going to be in the circle all the time? Are we going to keep on running all the time? Okay? How are we just always going in circles? How are we always going in circles? Even the spiral is still a circle, but it's like, just be free. Okay, be authentically you. Pave your own way. And it doesn't have to be a shape. It doesn't have to be a sacred geometry. By the end of your path, that piece will create beauty in itself. Will create its own sacred geometry. It will create its own blueprint. And yeah. So the last final point, number 8, is, like I said, like I really desire to work with children. Like all my life, I've always been in Sunday school. But in Sunday school, I was very interested in the knowledge and the wisdom from it because I wanted to apply it in my day-to-day life. I still want to have fun. I still want to be free and like live like a child. But I also want to have the wisdom of my ancestors and the knowledge to help me pave my own way. It's not me repeating their own footsteps. No, it's actually me just paving my way, creating my reality, and giving people answers or guidance or just being there and investing my energy in exchange of seeing other people's happiness, other people's joy. Because that, like, I know people have to go through things on their own, but it's like, come on, if we know already, why can't we assist them? Why can't we help them some? It's creating a safe haven. It's creating a safe space. But when I create a safe space, it's not limited. It's not boxed. It's not structured in my way. All I do is reveal universal love every day. That's how I rule. That's how I measure life. I reveal universal love every day. That's how I rule. And rule, my name Ru, means remembering, understanding, and expressing source energy. What does Ruhama mean? Ruhama means like the consciousness being forgiven. Okay? And what does like God mean in my language? It means all the tribes of the Creator. Okay? And so for me, like growing up in Ethiopia, what will surprise you about the tribe, like Africa, is there's so many different tribes in all like the countries, quote unquote, right? And that's something we gotta do. We go to school to learn English, we go to school to learn math, but we don't go to school to learn the actual source of that knowledge. Okay, we can't. Why would we be schooled to begin with? Knowledge is, in Ethiopia, we got our knowledge from our forefathers. We got our knowledge from fathers, okay? We got our knowledge from fathers, from Yeneta. Yeneta were the teachers that taught the younger kids how to, like, all the letters, the numbers, and the wisdoms of our language. See, language cannot be used to create a civilization. No. Language codes cannot be created to create civilizations. Because why would you civilize God? Why would you civilize God? Why would we civilize God? Why would we civilize nature when nature herself is supernatural? Okay? You see what I mean? But that's only because what our forefathers seeded is very important for us, because it's the reality that we're creating for our kids and our generations to come, because this is beauty that we're creating, and everybody has the opportunity and the birthright to see beauty everywhere they go, to see and create beauty everywhere they go. And what we see is a reflection of who we are. And so as a creator, I want to create reflections that are beautiful for you to look, because whether you look inside or outside, you are beautiful. Okay? And I can't create that in any other way except to tell you, or just not tell you even, but just share my own reflection of and observation of how unique I feel and how authentic I feel about my own existence. You know what I mean? And so life is trippy. You can take trips on shrooms and stuff, but like you can really take trips on different realms of existence too, in your own way, in your own source, once you're connected. And there's so many different ways to connect, and that's why this is Ru's Pandora's box. That's why this is the random paradoxes. Like, the random paradox. Random is our unity, okay? Random is our unity. It really is. And we have to acknowledge it, because when you think about it, in some way or another, it's a give and exchange, right? It's a give and exchange. And whether somebody took from you or you gave them, it's still the exchange was made, and that exchange has brought you some sort of push or key to your thought process, to your elevation, okay? When we elevate, we're elevating from the dome that our mind has set, okay? And then told us that there was something called freedom and there was something called slavery. And so as powerful beings who have the ability to speak and use their throat chakra to express what's on the inside, right? That's why the sword is like represented with the tongue too. You know, it's fierce. It can cut through, right? Let it cut through your bullshit. Let your own tongue cut through your own bullshit thought process. And let the sweet, sweet, sweet like movement of your tongue, let it just hiss and speak beauty. Let it sing beauty. Let it like exude the beauty that resides within you. Okay? Your soul is beautiful. Your soul, your essence, your ethereal flame is pure beauty. And because of all the fogs and the illusions and all the like the negative thought process that we've carried on for generations, right? Even generations. That comes from generations. And I didn't even have to look that up on Google or fucking DuckDuckGo. You know, some things you can tap into your source and reveal universal love every day. Okay? And so that's what I learned. And let me read to you something about, I'm going to read to you something about the Pandora's box, right? The myth of Pandora's box. The myth of Pandora's box is considered one of the most descriptive myths of human behavior in Greek mythology. Ancient Greeks used this myth not only to instruct themselves about the weaknesses of humans, but also to explain several misfortunes of the human race. Pandora, the first woman on earth, Pandora was, according to the myth, the first woman on earth. She was created by gods. Each one of them gave her a gift. Thus, her name in Greek means the one who bears all gifts. Pandora was created as a punishment to the mankind. Zeus wanted to punish people because Prometheus stole the fire to give it to them. Her gifts were beautifully evil, according to Hesiod. That sounds like bullshit right there. According to Hesiod. It feels like according to he said. And we have to understand all these stories are created out of like, I swear, how life is outside of us and inside of us. How our microscopic ways function and all of that. It's like we create stories so that we can understand the blueprint of our life. And we create and like give different blueprints for our seeds, for our generations to come, for our children, you know? And, okay, so it says, Zeus wanted to punish people because Prometheus stole the fire to give it to them. Her gifts were beautifully evil, according to Hesiod. I'm going to just say that. Hephaestus created her from clay, shaping her perfectly. Aphrodite gave her femininity, and Athena taught her crafts. Hermes was ordered by Zeus to teach her to be deceitful, stubborn, and curious. Pandora was given a box or a jar called Pythos in Greek. Gods told her that the box contained special gifts from them, but she was not allowed to open the box ever. You see how that trick is? How could the gods give her a gift and teach her to be deceitful, stubborn, and curious, right? And tell her not to open the box. Clearly, this box needs to be opened, okay? It needs to be open, and it's not to punish mankind. It's only so that mankind can understand what the fuck it was doing, okay? That's it. It's not to punish. It's only to show you what you was doing. And what I was doing too while I was opening my Pandora's box. Because I was clearly trained not to... Well, I was trained to be deceitful, stubborn, and curious, right? But I was also told that it contained special gifts. And I was not allowed to open it. What does that mean, right? That's the lesson. That's my blueprint. Then Hermes took her to Epimetheus, brother of Prometheus, to be his wife. Prometheus had advised Epimetheus Man, I don't know how to say all these shits, okay? Sorry. I mean, like, no like, disrespect, but I just don't know how to spell them. And I said, he saw Pandora and was astonished by her beauty, thus he accepted her right away. Pandora was trying to tame her curiosity, but at the end, she could not hold herself anymore. She opened the box, and all the illnesses and hardships that small letter gods had hidden in the box starting to come out. Pandora was scared because she saw all the evil spirits coming out and tried to close the box as fast as possible, closing hope inside. That's deep. That's deep. You hear that? She tried to close the box as fast as possible, closing hope inside. And hope is just the illusion of faith in reality. Hope is just a thought of wishing something was real when you thinking it is what makes it reality. So according to Hesiod, hope indeed stayed inside because that was Zeus's will. He wanted to let people suffer in order to understand that they should not disobey their gods. Pandora was the right person to do it because she was curious enough but not malicious. I love this. Thank you, Greek gods, for this myth. You know, they're still our ancestors in consciousness. They still created these stories and dreams and myths and fictions of what our actual reality is. Every time man wanted to be civilized, man wanted to ascend consciously, not physically. So, the myth of Pandora's box has been fascinating people since ever, catching the imaginations of countless artists who created frescoes, mosaics, and sculptures depicting Pandora and the mythological elements. The myth itself, though, appears in many different versions. The most distinctive differences is that in some myths, hope does come out. The main purpose of the myth of Pandora, though, is to address the question of why evil exists in the world. The birth of Pandora was represented on the pedestal of the statue of Athena, situated at the Pantheon of the Acropolis in Athens. And yeah, I really love this myth. I love this story. You know, some things are history, some things are myth, some things are ancestral knowledges, some things are games like Monopoly, some things are like Double Dutch, you know. But we're just all expressing how this universe vibrates and how this universe flows with its frequency and energy. That's the thing. And so, yeah, like I really, for me, to not be kind or to not be like giving or to not want to use my light to help other people that's still me not being in my element, because I am purposefully created, right? To be a light, to be a radical light for the universe, okay? If I am a wishing star for somebody and they believe that one wishing star was going to make their own thoughts and realities that God, like that the divine gave them, so be it. I'm gonna be a star, okay? I'm gonna be a symbol of the source. I'm gonna be a symbol. I'm gonna be a reflection for you to believe in yourself. I'm going to be your reflection, because I was made that way. I was made to reflect and observe. I was made to seed lights. I was made to, just as I go, as I fly like a butterfly, I was told to pollinate. Pollinate. You know, pollinate. Make the universe beautiful. Because you are beautiful. If beauty is inside you, that's the only thing I illuminate. And yeah, so I don't know. I really like being an observer and also a reflector helps you understand the in-between world, understand the chaos. It helps you see the chaos and it helps you bring order in that chaos. And so, but chaos is not something bad. I mean, like what's even our definition of bad and good? Even in our language in Amharic, bago and not eru, like there's so many different words and ways to say it and how to say it, how you tone it. It sounds, at the end of the day, it wasn't a word, it was a sound, okay? And that sound was an expression, like water, like trees, like wind, like air, like earth, like volcanoes. But this is our code. This is the street code. Our street code is to be in alignment with the earth code and our cosmic code. And everything will align and go with the divine flow and divine laws of the universe, because everybody has their places to play. And as long as everybody plays their part, things will be balanced and harmonized. Right? The thing is, like, when there is no peace within ourselves, it means there's no peace outside of ourselves. And so how can we want something externally to bring us something that's not already inside? I mean, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, I just really want to invest my time and energy with working and growing. Really not working, but just growing and cultivating. See, it's like work is more like work when it was first given to Adam was to take care of the garden, was to take care of the seeds, the land, and the other animals that live around it. We got to deal with gardening our own bodies, our own vessel, our own soul, our own mind, our own heart. But it's not us doing it all alone. When you connect to your most authentic self and Mother Earth, you're connecting with all aspects of who you are. And yeah, and we, I've seen my parents heal and grow and just continuously become who they are, Because every day for me, it's just like, even though I'm the same person every day mentally, or like I feel like I'm elevating, I'm progressing, I feel like I am just healing and activating different aspects of myself. With Pandora's box, if all the gods gave me different gifts, right? I'm just activating all the gifts. But I understand all these gifts came from these gods learning what civilization had taught them. What being more civil than who they are has taught them. And yeah, I definitely, I feel so grateful and I'm so content. Like this was what I wanted. Like it wasn't anything. It was just like God. Well, the first question that I had was like, divine God, are you real? Like, are you real? If you're real, why is this happening and all of that, right? Second question was like, okay, I know this is real. I know you exist, but okay, what's the point? What's the point here? What's the purpose? Like, what am I supposed to do? The third thing was, once I understood that, was like, okay, I understand. Okay, what's my part in this? I understand, here I am here, I am now, and how should I play my role? But that's not giving my control away to something, but it's just more like flowing with the current of the universe, with the currency, okay? Flowing with just the currents, the winds, the earth. It's movement everywhere. It's energy everywhere. It's energy everywhere. And yeah, I just want to heal with my tribe, heal with my people. Because for me, the God I call God is Isgya Bihir. It's like all nations of God, all nations of earth. Igazi, yeah, like all nations, all beings, all energy. So I want to heal with my people. I want to create with my people. I want to help people if they want to create and they feel blocked. I want to change that. Not me wanting to change that, but it's not me wanting to change that, because that's still me being controlling. But it's just like, if as long as I'm revealing my universal love, it's going to be expressed outwardly. And I can give you guidelines, right? I can give you guidelines and show you my blueprint, or help you find out how to find your own blueprint. But that's the thing, like, I don't think I'm finding my blueprint. I feel like I'm making my blueprint as I go. That's how I feel. And I leave room for creation. I leave space for creation. I leave space so that, like, I can be as free to think and be as deep to feel and be as loving to understand, and overstand. I love languages. Like, when I was a kid, I swear, I've loved languages. When I was a kid, I learned Turkish, French, Arabic, and Korean, along with English and my mother tongue, Amharic. And yeah, like, I love, and then I took Spanish and was actually, like, kind of getting good with relating to some of the things. But it's just like, the reason why I wanted to learn languages was because I wanted to connect with different people, with different worlds. Like, I see beauty in all of our differences, in all of our pain, in all of our wrongdoings, because the source that saw me and accepted me for who I am, that source never shamed me, never guilted me, never judged me. The only person that judged me was me. It was my ego. And so, yeah, I really want to teach what I know. Not teach, but it's not even teach, because to teach is like, I don't like that word. We don't like the word. For me, when I went to school, I did not like the word teach. Maybe, like, I can share or express. Yeah, that's what I am. Remember, understand, and express source energy. All I can do is just express my wisdom, right? When I say my, express the wisdoms of my ancestors, express the wisdom of my path and the people around me, and knowledge, from my African ancestral genes. And I've seen, from this observation, I've observed that communication and art are my strongest traits for right now. And my energy loves and understands children, animals, earth, plant, I guess everything. Except fake shit. Yeah, I can't understand fake thing, because that's not authentic. And so, yeah, it's just better for me to work on the seeds than like weed out things when it's mama and nature that already created the weeds. I mean, we can do that, but it's like, everything has a purpose, right? And whatever purpose, that purpose is going to be defined by me and what it's going to do for my life, not for what it was designed to do, And wisdom is always the key. Wisdom is always the key to anything. Yeah. And I just really want to be involved in co-creating after school programs around us. I want to co-create summer programs and weekend experiences for kids to connect with Mother Earth and their creative energy, their emotions, because how we're made with all of the elements of Gaia. Like, we feel like the water, we're grounded like the earth, we breathe like the air, and we perceive like the light around us. or darkness or whatever you call it, like the energy around us. Don't quote me on anything because I just flow and this is all random, okay? And so, if I'm a rose that was seated on concrete, I'm still gonna grow and flourish because I'm still a rose. I'm still alive. I'm still here and I'm still breathing and I'm still living and I'm still existing. And me coming to that awareness is going to be, okay, what do I want to do with it? And it's just like, yeah, I don't want to go. It's like, it hurts me to know that like people will go through the similar things over and over and over and over again when like there's other ways to do it. And so it's just, I'm not going to force anything on people, but I'm going to be an open letter, an open reflection, and show you, hey, happiness is within you, beauty is within you and all around you. And so go live the life that you really want, not what this society, not this circle gave you. And yeah, another random thing about my Pandora's box is, so my foundation was church, Christianity, and all of that, right? So I see church as a nation, and I see religion as tradition, and I see spirit as an army. And I always used to say, Jah knows. Jah knows. I didn't like saying God knows. I just say Jah knows, And see, like, even though that was my foundation, or like that was the foundation of my perception, or the first thing I saw and stuff, I still saw, okay, church is like nation and religion is like tradition, little rituals and stuff that we do. Meaning like every day, like we are walking rituals. Everything, every action, every movement that we do is contributing to our external and eternal world. Even the ones that we're not aware of, our subconscious mind, our cells, our movement, there's so much shit going on in our body than what's going on outside of us. Within us than like outside. And even with like telescope and microscope and just, these are words to define like what we felt and like what we expressed. It's not necessarily who we are. Somebody might call a table and somebody else might call it wembe, tarapeza, or whatever other thing. But it's like that object is still there, but a person can sit on it and call it a chair, and a person can use it as a table and call it a table. You know what I mean? The object will always be there. That's the 3D. How are we going to use these objects, or how are we going to create objects that are going to help us be in alignment with the life that we want to create and live and manifest and all of that? If that's the path that we want to go, if we don't want to work and do 9 to 5, we got to be mindful about like how we invest our energy, time, knowledge, mind, all of it, and create and pave our own way, pave our own culture. That's what we wanted, right? And so, but culture is just not one thing. It's a mixture of everything. And I love America for this and Ethiopia and Africa, I guess, and the whole world, because when you look at it, in every land mass, it's just different people existing in one space, in one time, in one area. Like this separation is just a binary separation. We are interconnected, and that's not because our cell phones connected us. It's because every thing in our body, in our vessel, is connected to the true, authentic source of what we are and who we are. And yeah, less is more. And even in movies are not bad. They're actually educational. But we should be very considerate about like, okay, what is this teaching me? Am I going to be influenced, or am I going to take the wisdom from it? You know what I mean? They're created for a reason. Words, language, all are created for a reason so that we can understand and create our own blueprints. That's why it's hard for people to give you their blueprint, because it's like that was how they were created. So their blueprint is not going to work for you, but you can just observe and see the different techniques and whatever, and collect and create your own. You have the freedom to do so. And you can be a seeker and find it. You can, everything, like, you have the keys. You have the keys to your kingdom. Like, even the word kingdom, it's kingdom. Like a dome. So, I don't know, create a space that just matches your energy, that attracts and reciprocates energy that resonates with your true authenticity. And, when we say I am attractive, I am sexy, and all of that, it's not physically only. You are attractive because you attract what's your source, and your source is wealth, your source is abundance, your source is the whole universe. And so you are attractive. You are very attractive. You attract, okay? It's not like we go find, we attract. We attract. We attract and we create. We attract and we create. That's how we co-create. And yeah, I'm just really very grateful, just very happy and at peace. And I really believe that, like, if I bring how I can change the world that I see, or like we can't carry the world's burden on our shoulders. It's not ours to carry, right? But how I can be is, like, I believe that if I can be happy on the inside, if I can do my part on the inside, be happy, be in harmony, be in balance, be in love. Not saying at all times, because it's a balance. Balance it's not like a constant thing. It's not like a one, okay, here, it's balanced and it's going to stay here like that. If that was the case, then it would be just a picture. You can paint a picture of balance and put it there, right? But this is like actually balancing your life in every space and time. Thank you for tapping in. Thank you for allowing me to be in your space to exchange this energy. If you're still listening to it, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, comment, share it with whoever, if you feel called to, if you feel like it would be beneficial to someone else. And I love you. And always just authentically be you. Seek you. Don't seek others. Seek yourself. Seek your source.